Good morning, grade 9. Today we are going to start lesson 3, Introduction to Invertebrates. We mentioned in lesson 1, animal. Yes, animal are multicellular, animal are heterotroph. In lesson 2, we mentioned the groups or the phylum of the animal, vertebrates and invertebrates, two phyla, vertebrates and invertebrates. Yes, and in this lesson we'll speak about invertebrates. Yes, we mentioned invertebrates, animals that do not have backbones. Yes, and vertebrates, animals that have backbones. In this lesson we will speak only about invertebrates. We have main groups. Yes, invertebrates. The main invertebrates group are sponges, cnidarians, flatworms, roundworms, segmented worms, mollusks, arthropods, and echinoderms. Yes, 96% of animals are invertebrates. So 4% only are vertebrates. Mammals, with amphibians, with reptiles, with fish and birds, all the 5 classes of vertebrates are 4% only. And the 96% of animals are invertebrates. They live in every climate. Yes, they live in every climate. Group 1, sponges, asymmetrical invertebrate. We mentioned in lesson 2, bilateral symmetry, divide the body into 2 identical halves, and radial symmetry, many imaginary line can drawn from the central point of the body. Yes, and no symmetry or asymmetry like sponges. I can't divide the body into 2 identicals or into 2 halves. Yes, so sponges, asymmetrical invertebrates with specialized cells, because sponges are living. Yes, it has what? Cells. So with specialized cells but no tissues or organs. No tissues or organs. So sponges, asymmetrical invertebrates with specialized cells but no tissues or organs. Adult sponges stay in one place, like plants and like animals. Stay in its place. How can obtain food? The water carries salts, carries minerals, carries little amount of grasses, so the plant absorb, the sponge absorb it. Okay, so it can take food into their bodies. Okay, adult sponges stay in one place, like plants, like animals. They take food into their bodies. These are sponges. What about group 2, cnidarians? Look at cnidarians. Cnidarians, radial symmetry, like jellyfish. Yes, radial symmetry, invertebrates that have stinging cells, and take food into a central body cavity. Yes, the example of cnidarians, jellyfish and corals. Jellyfishes and corals. Okay. Number 3, group number 3, it's very important. There are 3 major phyla of worms, group 3 worms, but we have 3 major phyla of worms: flatworms, roundworms, and segmented worms. Okay, your book, page 100. Look at your book, page 150. Look at the 3 phyla of worms. Number 1, segmented worms. The example in our book is earthworm. Yes, all worms, whatever round or flat or segmented, have bilateral symmetry. So I can divide the body into 2 halves or 2 identical parts. Yes, every part mirror image to the other side. Yes, all worms have bilateral symmetry with head and tail. Head and the tail, yes, have tissues, organs, and organ system. Yes, because they are living. But worms differ from cnidaria and sponges with tissues and with organs, because different tissues form organs and the group of organs form organ system. Yes, so worms with tissues, with organs and organ system. Can you compare between the three bodies of them? Yes, look. In our book, page 150, phylum, segmented worm, example earthworm, right? The body has many linked sections called segments. This is characterized segmented worms with brain. Yes, can detect food and predators. يبقى تقدر detect الفود through the brain. Okay? طيب. Second, round worms. The body is smooth, no segments, but thin tubes. Yes, round worm. So in our book, the example hookworm. Yes, the body is smooth, thin tubes, and they have two body openings. Mouth and the anus. Mouth is organ, and also anus is organ. Both of them make the organ system, digestive system. Organ, mouth, the beginning of digestive system, and the anus is the ending. Yes, so two body openings, mouth and anus. Round worms. Flat worms. The example in our book, planarian. Planarians mean flat, soft body without segments. Some have eye spots on their heads that detect light. Also, flat worms, look at the two eyes. This makes the body bilateral symmetry. Okay, so we did sponges, cnidarians, and worms. Move to the fourth group, mollusks, invertebrates with soft, unsegmented bodies. Yes, that are often protected by hard shell. So mollusks characterized by shell. Yes, shell that protect the soft body. Okay, have thin layer of tissue called the mantle that covers their internal organs and an organ called a foot. So mollusks have foot. Yes, classifying mollusks are depending on the foot they used for crawling, digging, catching prey. So mollusks characterized by foot. So I can classify it according to the foot they use for crawling, digging, catching prey. Yes, three major groups of mollusks. Look in our book, page 151, this table in our book. We make comparisons between the characteristics of each type. Number 1, gastropods. Number 2, bivalves. Number 3, cephalopods. Okay, these main types of mollusks. Gastropods, look at snail. Snail with one shell. So the number of shells, 1. Single shell or no shell and distinct head. Look at this head with 2 antennae. Yes, so the soft body protected by this shell. Where is the shell? External. So internal or external? Shell external. And use food for what? Use food for crawling. Okay, uses food to crawling. Bivalves. Look at second type of mollusks, bivalve. Yes, clam. 2 shells. Bivalves means 2 shells. And simple nervous system. It has nervous system, yes, it has nervous system. And the shell external, sure, the 2 valves externals. And use foot for what? Digging. Look at the part of the body out. This is foot. Dig, yes, dig by this foot, it can dig the earth. Cephalopods, third type, cephalopods with external or internal shell or no shell. At at all and have good vision and large brain. Cephalopod with large brain, yes. Look at the head and the eyes. What is the leg? Look at the foot in the head. The feet of it in the head. Yes, squid with internal shell, no external like gastropod or bivalve. Yes, the feet of cephalopods in the head and the shell internal. That cephalopods use the feet for catching prey. Yes, this example for a squid. Look at this page. Phylum Mollusca, gastropods, bivalves, and cephalopods. Look at the example of gastropods. Look at snail, sea slug, and slug. Look at these without shell. Look at squid, yes, cephalopods, octopus, cephalopods, and look at bivalve, clam, mussels, الميوزلز زي الخلول كده, mussels, and bivalves, clam, yes, these phyla mollusks. Okay. Number 5, arthropods. What's meant by arthropods? Jointed legs. What's meant by arthropods? Jointed legs. Invertebrates that have outer coverings, segmented bodies, yes, and the pairs of jointed appendages. So, for this reason, the type of these invertebrates called arthropods. Arthropods means jointed legs or jointed appendages, like legs, wings, antenna are appendages. Yes, legs, wings, and the antenna are appendage. Okay, arthropods characterized by exoskeleton. Okay, what's meant by exoskeleton? Exoskeleton, outer covering. Maybe this outer covering shed and replaced as animals grows. Okay, shed يعني removed and replaced as the animal grows. Okay, look at your book, page 152, about arthropods. We have main 3 types, yes, or main 3 groups. Arthropods include crustaceans. Crust means قشرة. Crustaceans, القشريات, like crab and shrimp. Yes, like a crab and shrimp. Characterized by 5 pairs of legs or more. Yes, a lot of legs for shrimp. So crustaceans with exoskeleton, yes, crustaceans with exoskeletons, characterized by 5 pairs of legs or more. Okay? And the example, crab and shrimp. Look at arachnoids, spider. Don't forget spider. Look at the spider that belong to arachnoid with 4 pairs of legs. Don't forget, 4 pairs. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 pairs of legs and pair of antenna. Yes, look at butterfly with 2 antenna. So arthropods characterized by antenna. Yes, look at the crustaceans, 2 antenna and 4 or 5 pairs of legs. Look at the pairs of legs. Okay. Group number 3, centipedes, millipedes, and insects. ايه حكاية الcentipedes والmillipede والinsect? Insects like butterfly, like bee, like housefly. Yes, these insects. What about centipedes and the millipedes? Centipede with millipedes, look at it, looks like worm, but it's not worm. Why, miss? Why not worm? Because with more jointed legs. These type of invertebrates with more jointed legs. So these belong to arthropods, not worms. Worms no legs, no appendage. Yes? Look at centipede and millipede. Okay, with more legs. The example of insects, bees and ants, and centipede and millipedes. Look at the picture of it or image of it. Look at a lot, thousands or hundreds of legs. Look at or appendage. And this one, more than طبعا 5 pairs, more than 5 pairs, a lot of pairs of the legs. All arthropods also are bilateral symmetry. Yes, look at, if you divide the part of the body, the right side exactly the same as left side. Look at butterfly, bilateral symmetry. Look at also centipede and the millipede, bilateral. Look, the number of appendage in this side equals the number of appendages in this side. Okay, last group, echinoderms. Last group, echinoderms, in page 153. Yes, echinoderms also invertebrate, but has internal skeleton, endoskeleton, not like arthropods with exoskeleton. So if you compare between arthropods and echinoderms, arthropods with exoskeleton, outer covering, and echinoderms with endoskeleton. Yes, internal skeleton, and a system of fluid-filled tubes. They live in salt water. So where can you find the echinoderm? In water, but arthropod in earth. But some type in water, like shrimp and the crab. Yes, shrimp and the crab live in water. Yes, but spiders, bee, insects, beetles, all these live on earth. Yes, echinoderms, mainly all types of echinoderms live in water. Remember starfish, don't forget starfish, echinoderm. Yes, starfish, or sea star. Yes, sea star, called sea star. Yes, sea star. Sea urchin, look at sea urchin. Look at brittle star. All these bilateral or radial. Yes, so have radial symmetry. Don't forget, have radial symmetry. And also we have type called sea cucumber, like a cucumber. Yes, all radial symmetry. Yes, we have table in our page 153. We can complete the table. From this table, sea cucumber is shaped like a cucumber. Sea star, like a star. Yes, this is one sea star, like star. Sea urchin, look at sea urchin, spherical with spinny shell, and also the body radial. Yes, brittle star, look at brittle star, it looks like star also, and radial, with radial symmetry. Okay, have radial symmetry. Use their system of tubes to move. We mentioned the part that characterize echinoderms, system of fluid-filled tubes. Fluid-filled tubes. Yes, they live in salt water. System of fluid-filled tubes, they live in salt water. Okay, so it can get food and oxygen through these tubes. It can get food and oxygen through these tubes. So we did the groups of invertebrates, sponges, cnidarians, echinoderms, arthropods, worms, mollusks. Okay, Thank you, all of you.